Ironman 70.3 Venice, Gisolo. The day before we were due to depart, we discovered a slow puncture in the Mercedes caused by a screw in the tyre. We managed to get that fixed and packed up the car. Passed through the design metropolis of Milan and then on to Gisolo, where Anita had managed to find a superb Airbnb complete with a swimming pool, but more importantly very near the transition area. Some local artists had created some stunning sand sculptures depicting swim, bike and run. We arrived in time to be able to prepare and recce the bike, swim and run venues. The night before the race we got all our nutrition mixed and placed into bags ready for race morning. We also got our bikes into the transition area. Race morning, we walked to the transition area, checked the bikes, put on the nutrition, bike computers, calibrated the power meters etc. and then walked down to the race start near the lighthouse. We got into our wetsuits for a test swim and then got into our respective swim start corrals. We chose the fastest group, which was the 30-minute corral. As normal, Ironman hyped the start with group clapping and some raucous rock music from AC/DC. The start was staggered, 10 swimmers every 10 seconds. I allowed about 80 to 90 swimmers to go before me. This allows them to break the trail and get the water moving. My theory seemed to work. I seriously felt like I wasn't swimming hard, yet I completed the 1.9 km swim in 28 minutes, first in my age group. I think the V sign and the fist pump kind of shows how I felt at the end of the swim. Quick run up the beach, through the showers and into T1 to get my bike. T1 went well, though I did have to double back to get my race number, which in my haste was not fastened correctly and had fallen off. Flying mount and I was onto the bike course. The course was flat and fast. I did have a wattage number to work to, but soon realised this was far too low, so cycled on feel, not a strategy I would recommend. On certain parts of the course there were out and back sections, which I felt were unnecessary and also dangerous. Ironman has already had a fatality in Hamburg with this type of design, and I was surprised they hadn't learnt from the lesson and changed the course. There weren't even cones in the middle of the road. In these sections it was impossible to overtake as other bikes were coming in the other direction, and subsequent bunching inevitably happened. The motorcycle referees were unable to get in amongst the pelotons. I voiced my displeasure about the course design and my race feedback to Ironman. I was very happy with my bike ride. Unfortunately I had a small mechanical issue en route where my rear axle came loose and I had to stop and retighten it. A quick, slick and efficient T2 and I was out over the bridge and onto the 3-lap 21 km run. For me, I felt I ran well. I had a strategy to keep cool with water over the head, to drink an electrolyte, to eat a Morton gel at every aid station. This strategy seemed to work well, and although my run did not set the world on fire, I managed to keep going for the full 21 kilometers with a sub 2 hour half marathon. So all in all I feel I had a good race, a sub 5 hour half Ironman, 11th in my age group. Please do not think that I have purposely or selfishly forgotten to mention Anita's accomplishment in this Ironman 70.3, but she'd been ill for about 5 weeks leading up into the event and lost that block of training, and I know she's disappointed with her result, but I'm glad that she completed the event despite all her setbacks. I waited at the finish line for Anita for the obligatory finisher medals photo. After the Ironman, Anita, Walter and I visited Venice. The weather for the race had been perfect, not too hot, not too cold, nice and sunny without much wind. However, the day after the weather deteriorated. It was still nice enough for a boat trip to Venice. The day after and the weather had deteriorated even further, and we decided to visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is a place we have wanted to visit for a very long time.